MG Rob back with you. Today we're going to pull on the engine on my 74 MGB GT. And I have some guests with me today from the YouTube channel 98Ec. I'll put some links below. We got Mike and his vaginal turd, Chase. So I guess we better get started and get this motor out.
Up.
So the reason we took this thing apart to begin with was there's a bit of a noise in the engine. I think it's a rod bearing starting to make noise. So now we get to find out.
What are you saying?
Actually, I'll probably just go ahead and get the pan off of it and do it for you know.
Subscribe by Cam.
By the can.
Now what? You want to pull the engine rod caps off?
So they're fine.
Always changed.
Yep, there it goes. Maybe I ought to say that now.
See, that was easy. Holy smokes.
I just use the editing
Yeah.
tool for. That's the easy button. I'm gonna pull the channel locks now. Not as much worse as I thought I was going to see.
Definitely feel it.
Ah, there it is.
Ah,
There it is.
It's the wrong end. It's the right side.
it's a connecting rod bearing.
Yep. Let's go ahead and flip it over and pull the head first, so I can drop each piston out.
I mean, this, here's this.
All right, so we got at least one rod bearing. It's bad.
I got it through, oh, you can push down on that, inside this, see that frame.
So we got the engine tore apart. Now I didn't film all of that because I didn't want this video to get too awfully long. Now the reason why I pulled the engine because there was a bit of a noise in the engine, and I expected that what I would find would be probably number 4 rod bearing starting to go. Now we did find some trash had gone through the bearings. And there is a little bit of scoring on the crank from trash going through that. And a lot of the trash that went through it was from the lifters. Got a failed number 3 lifter and a failed number 7, which of course trashed my camshaft. So that lobe there is bad, and that one there. Now number 4 rod bearing was starting to go. And number 1 wasn't too far behind. But what I didn't expect to find were the mains. looked a lot worse than I thought they were going to look. There's the number 1. And there's number 2. And the center main bearing looks really bad. Now the 4th bearing back, the bearing itself looks okay, but the cap came out in 2 pieces. Now this is the second time this engine's broken the 4th main cap that I know of since I've owned it in the 20-something years. And the number 5 is just starting to get a little brass in it too. So now I've got to stop and think about what I'm going to do with the engine from here on out. Looks like since it's going to need at least 1 main cap again, I'm probably going to pull another engine block out and start from scratch with a new engine and rethink my strategy for how to build the engine that I'm trying to build, because this is not anywhere near a stock build. This is a performance build. Let's see, I do have max speeding rods here. Crank's been wedged, flywheel's lightened, and a bunch of other work's been done. So, time for a rethink of what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. And then there'll be some future videos on what I end up doing.